My name is Angelica Jacquella, and I have a message for all parents and caregivers to be aware that the little kids you have, children, have a valuable life, a brain, mind, organs, soul that belongs to God, that has to be respected by all parents, caregivers, educators, teachers, in all levels of schools, elementary school, high school, university, colleges. To please be advised, I speak from years of experience. Remember when I was a child, I know what happened. So I'm mentioning this as a caution to inform humans. A lot of parents have a long work week, drop the kids off when safe was without the COVID times to a school. These days are doing online courses, studies, classes to prevent the spread of coronavirus. During these classes, keep in mind kids are growing new cells till approximately 20 years old, new organs, new muscle cells, new stretch receptors, all types of new cells. And their brain is developing, need a lot of rest to be at home in a safe place that is warm, proper to their health. They have to rest a lot, sleep enough at proper age, 7.5 to 8 hours. At night, they have right to sleep extra when they need, take a nap. They are growing new cells as stated. Then they have to be well rested and have enough food, nutrients, glucose, blood sugar, that is fuel for their brain to think, their heart to beat, muscles to move, other organs to function. They have to have a nutritious diet. These children have rights, as every human does, that have to be respected by the parents, caregivers, educators, teachers, those in daycares, godparents, and others. They have to remember that children have free will of choice to learn only what is beneficial to them. Every child is different, keep in mind, has different abilities to learn at certain levels. Some children are good at science, some are not. Every child has a destiny. In the future, they are going to become some doctors, some priests, others veterinarians. Every child is good at something else. They have free will of choice to study what is beneficial to their life. They cannot be forced to learn anything that they are not good at and will never use in their life to benefit their life, that they really don't need in their life to learn. Teachers, educators have no right in parents to teach the children anything that they don't choose to learn, that is not beneficial to their health, to their life in any way. There are laws on earth in place for proper reason and in heaven to remind humans that this everyone is judged. Rather, these parents, educators, all of them judged by the heavens accordingly, how they act. If they leave a child with enough food and well rested before they learn something, to respect a child's brain and physical health this way, to make sure to be educated, to keep the child at home when there's COVID going on, to make sure that the child stays home where it's safe and warm and not go to church on Sundays or any other day of the week when too tired because they're not required to go to church or worship place ever to endanger their health and life, to travel into cold to warm temperatures to get germs viruses on the way. They are required by God to respect their health and life and that of others, and to stay home and rest and be somewhere where it's safe and warm while they're growing new cells. Safe before another school work week, on Sundays when they're too tired after a previous school work week, and stay home and rest. Will be healthier and happier while they're growing new cells. Everyone else will be healthy and happy. Even pets will be happy for this child that is healthy staying home. Intelligent, has a right to be informed at a young, proper age by the parents all its information about its rights, its choices. All its rights and choices have to be respected by the parents, educators, all for all years. It is the child's choice to stay home and rest on Sundays, to act in the best interest of its own health and life. The child can't be forced to go to church on Sundays or any other worship place when it's too tired. Its health will be disrespected. A parent cannot take a child in the cold to risk its health, get even common cold, which is a virus that is causing suffering to a child, to take it out of a warm, safe environment, to take it outside and get a cold. And aside the coughing, have symptoms, runny nose result in, so it is best to be avoided. A child's health has to be respected by all, and to remember that the children have rights, especially the parents taking children till they learn to talk, till they learn to care for themselves, but have a right to be as well educated about these rights and choices to be respected early on as possibly can, to tell them to think first, respect their life and health. Remember to tell them they're growing new cells, they're always learning something when they're young. They need a lot of energy, glucose. They're always thinking something, growing new organs till almost 20 years old. Best to stay home and rest. Learn only what they can, especially during COVID times and other variant strains. To learn what they can online, a simple course, main ones needed mathematics, grammar, English, when properly at the proper age, rather, to learn scientific basic knowledge, how to respect the environment, reduce, reuse, recycle, things beneficial to their health, to their life, basic human nutrition, anatomy, physiology, how the body, brain function, basically. That will help benefit them understanding how their health is proper to be maintained, how it works, what body parts they have, what vitamins, minerals they need from food to make these healthy, to grow new cells. These are things most important for a child to learn at an early age. Other than that, only can learn what they choose, having to do with maybe something they're good at, something they like to learn. They already have then enough calories used learning few main things at their own level. A child can't be forced to go to a high level studies, put in a level too low or too high without their friends, to be put in a school or somewhere where it doesn't choose to go to for proper reasons, it acting in its own best interest of health, well-being. Children have emotions, personality, a soul. They have to be respected They are suffering if they are forced to learn something too difficult and it's useless. So it's the job of the parents to monitor this, to see what the curriculums are. There's a lot of not easy to learn subjects in curriculums that are useless to children, that have the child poor heart trained, have damaged organs, especially if traveling to a school which should be closed during pandemic times. But if happen to go and sit 2 meters away, to be cautious. A child travels in too cold to warm temperatures early in the morning when they're supposed to be still sleeping well rested, then become ill on the way with a cold. They burn the calories they already ate after breakfast, during the breakfast rather. By the time they get to school, walking even to elementary, high school, they have burned all the calories and sit there falling asleep for the whole day. They're too tired to learn anything. Their already body temperature too cold, mainly in Canada and States most of the year, other countries too warm. They hydrated on the way to advise the parents of what happens to these children that you leave on their walking to school alone. Then they have no meal waiting for them when they get to school, already starving, fearing that someone else might hear that their belly is growling. This the human child suffers this way, crying. They don't want anyone else to be disturbed during the classes when their stomach is growling. The stomach acids are damaging the stomach lining when there's no food digesting. A child is starving. They have a damaged stomach lining and damaged intestinal lining from this stomach acid building up there. When they don't have enough any food after already getting there and not a chance to eat any a meal when they get there to elementary, high school, universities, colleges. A child then is suffering. Most schools from 9 a.m. till lunchtime have 3 courses, hour long, and suffer learning things with no calories to the brain. Starving, too tired, need to sleep. Already ill if they got on the way, have a fever, headache, common cold symptoms, nose, runny nose, burned skin, coughing. These even the common cold to understand is very harmful to health, is a virus. Requires a fever, high temperature to kill the virus. It requires a lot of calories, glucose, rehydrating of a child, water, electrolytes, something like a child level Pedialyte, or in a more adult bit level, like a Gatorade needed with sodium, potassium, B vitamins. Children already need in the morning a banana, potassium for the heart, the brain. Things with B vitamins, snacks for such as different types of nuts that are beneficial for energy throughout the day, for the brain, for the heart, and other reasons healthier than any chips, other snacks. Whole grain chips, sun chips I found better than any potato chips that are not beneficial to child health with fat not proper to their health. Children to have enough milk, vitamin D when safe, skin on through the get absorbed through the skin to help bind calcium to grow healthy teeth, skull, bones, skeleton. Need magnesium, taurine to help absorb these. The foods to find to help the children to have these vitamins and minerals while they're growing new cells, new skeleton, new skull, new teeth, muscles, heart, organs. They're growing new cells, so especially during pandemic times, to prevent the spread of the virus. Whoever is has children at home and still can stay home without going to work, to stay home, to respect the children, to keep them at home, to make sure they don't walk far into cold to warm temperatures to a school, potentially getting a virus they don't need, even common cold, a cold sore, a viral infection, chicken pox. It is best to prevent their health from failing first by keeping them at a safe place where it's warm. to prevent them from suffering what they don't deserve, according to God. Any health failing, especially against their free will of choice, can't be forced to go into cold to warm temperatures to walk to a school with no extra meal first after breakfast, enough snacks, enough time to eat. Most humans get to school, high school, in an elementary school, after eating breakfast and don't have a chance to eat anything till lunchtime. That is almost 12 o'clock. Since 9 a.m., they already got up early near 7, ate their breakfast, walked the whole miles, already burned the calories, got ill on the way, even common cold, runny nose, which is virus. Body then temperature goes high, fever to kill it. They don't have enough calories to accomplish it. The nervous system is harmed, damaged, suffering the heart, brain. The child is starving, dehydrated, learning things forced. The brain can't function because it's too tired, already suffering a fever with high temperatures. They, when get to school, have to warm the temperature. The flesh was cold, the hands, even with gloves, boots, even some too cold. Even through boots, it gets cold on the way. Children sweat, then went outside and became the water droplets of sweat, even in their snowsuit, become cold. Children got different things like bronchitis, viral infections such as even these chicken pox, these little itchy things, rash on the skin, ill for 2 weeks, have to miss school, and then getting different things on the way, then spread it to others. They have their own germs, own common cold, different than every other kid. To respect themselves and others, to inform them about this, to wear a mask, even have common cold, to prevent it from spreading to others, to stay 2 meters away from other kids, teachers, principal, especially in food places, cafeterias that's supposed to be closed to prevent the spread of coronavirus and different variant strains of it. Children then are have no breakfast. I mean, after breakfast, no meal when they get there. Require a snack to inform parents, a second like breakfast, rehydrating substances, glucose enough containing something to digest, easily absorbed to drink with enough blood for proper blood sugar levels to be raised after they walked, traveled to get to the school. Already burned all the calories they ate it during breakfast. Banana, potential for the heart to beat and brain to work. Healthy snacks of nuts, avocados, healthy fat for the heart, brain. Things that contain omega 3s, the little oil supplements, depending on child age, or find food items that contain it, could easily be taken to help the levels to go up and to help the brain and heart. B vitamins, they need to find humans the proper vitamins. I mean, the proper food items, proper small snacks that they can have that contain the B vitamins that help all different parts of the brain and metabolism and different things. Are these main ones are proper to child health. Vitamin D helps the body, brain in many ways, helps the immune system, the growing new one. There are things such as black seeds and will help during these pandemic times. Vitamin C, a main one they have to have, helps the child be healthier, the immune system. These antioxidants help fight off certain things that get common cold. Vitamin A, vitamin E, to find foods that contain these proper fruits and vegetables that don't irritate the stomach lining. To be aware, tomatoes, some kids can eat, especially some with some allergic reactions, cannot eat tomatoes. It damages the stomach lining and then might become more allergic to things and have inflammation. So to be cautious about humans giving children tomatoes early on till they're as early developed fully stomach. if they have allergies or not, so the stomach has a proper stomach lining and be healthy that much longer. To have enough milk for the child, bread, whole grain bread, not white bread. Anything else they can think of a healthy small snack, small second, in essence, breakfast, rehydrating meal, small like a Gatorade, Powerade type electrolyte, children version of it, Pedialyte, for them to internalize, drink this before before they start learning anything, to have a nap, get there to make sure the body temperature is warm. Most children already walking in the cold morning already have their hands cold. The blood is cold, even with gloves, basic gloves. These tied on the near the wrist gloves to be avoided already have circulation harmed near the wrist. Walking in the boots too heavy for the heart. The growing new cells would be better off staying home to sleep and rest. Eat a healthy breakfast. Learn only one, two things, three that they need. The brain heart is not strained. They're better off remembering something when they have enough calories to the brain and vitamins, or well rested, versus going into cold to warm temperatures, becoming ill on the way, virus, and sleeping throughout the day. Cannot learn anything when they're tired and have a high fever. If the fever persists too long and is not treated, as most kids are when they get to school, and not enough calories, this can result in serious brain damage. They might have learning disabilities they don't deserve. The body, if all physical health fails, and no one has the right to mistreat children this way. 100 million people suffer this way, these children, when the schools were open, and others go to school and become ill. They suffer learning things throughout the day when too tired. They can't even stay awake, most falling asleep in class, and fear that they don't want to fall asleep so the teacher doesn't see them falling asleep. Suffer, strain the heart, crying. Their stomach acids, is as stated, are filling the stomach because they don't have their meal. Second one, when they get there, they don't have a place to safe to take a long nap, to have a blanket to warm up. The most in Canada states is always cold. Almost all children walk there into cold temperatures. Should be kept at home longer. There is no point to them walking there and freezing and then becoming ill and staying there for 6 hours, 9 to lunchtime. To lunchtime from 9 a.m., then 10 a.m., 11 to 12 is 3 long hours. Millions of seconds that a child is starving when they got there already too cold and have a fever, yawning, falling asleep, and cannot learn anything. Their health has failed. Their belly is stomach acids, as I stated, building up. They cannot focus on anything almost because they don't have enough calories. They're trying to use their pen. Muscles require sugar, blood sugar to move, vitamins, iron to help them, to bind oxygen to help flow to the muscles so they can move them, for the heart to beat, air for them to breathe. These children need all this from vitamins healthy after they got there but don't have it. They're suffering long. To a child, me, I know from experience, is a long hours. And then trying to hold the belly in so it's not growling. So no one hears this, that they don't have the belly is growling. They're holding the belly is in pain because there's too much stomach acid, no food digesting. The child is trying to write notes, learn something. While their belly is suffering, they have a fever already, running nose, need Kleenex. Then the suffering, learning some other useless this things like history that is really not useful. Other subjects that they are learning that the parents don't look into, are morally obligated to do. Those that make the curriculum have to only teach what is beneficial to the child, what it chooses to learn is good at. It can't be forced to learn something especially useless to its life that results in the brain and body harmed and struggling, as I say, stated when they get there already too tired and ill, cannot learn anything, and can't be forced to learn useless subjects. This is human torture. For a child to be left there with not enough food and ill, and expected to learn anything, especially not allowed to be forced against free will of choice, is bodily harm against free will of choice of a child. This is illegal everywhere in the universe. This is a disrespect of God's dignity of a valuable life of a child. This is illegal. This is fined by imprisonment. To warn humans, children have rights. They cannot be forced to be put and gone to school and left there. Parents not looking into this but suffering when they know. To be left there with not enough food and another separate meal when they get there, to have enough energy to get through to the next classes, to have snacks in between, to have a place to rest, lie down, a blanket to warm themselves there even when get there, to rest, their hard seats to sit on. Child is growing new cells of thin skin, veins squished, sitting on hard chairs at the desks. Desk hard, their hands resting there on the veins, squished, too tired, falling asleep. Millions of children suffered this way for years. They barely made it through the one course, the next two I don't even say. They don't have energy for anything. We already think of sleeping and going home. There's no then can't make it through the day. They're even after the first class, they don't have a chance to have a snack. The next one, it's already 3 long hours of endless torture. Illegal bodily harm of a child. Then when they make it to the lunchtime, have their little lunch, the little sandwich, most likely a little bread with a piece of meat, cheese, sometime banana, maybe avocado for healthy fat, a little box of milk or juice, one little snack, and that is then for them to eat and to last another 3 hours till 3 p.m. or 3:30. They obviously, when they eat this, already have a belly suffering with stomach acids, burned the stomach lining, damaged it, intestines, are more prone to allergies, things absorbed foreign to the bloodstream and ill for life if they get it, inflammation, have a weaker immune system. They're developing a growing immune system as it is, to remember. Need to rest and have enough healthy vitamins, be safe and warm, not to be in danger to get normal common cold virus, to be not left into cold temperatures and get a cold sore, viral infections, chickenpox, bronchitis, breathing problems, sore throat. The children don't deserve to suffer these health concerns when they could be kept at home when safe and warm. Till adult age, they are developing new immune systems as stated. They cannot fight off anything as easily when they're still growing a new one, even common cold. They cannot fight it off easily. Need a lot of vitamins. Healthy food, oranges have vitamin C when safe. Then they eat the lunch. They have refueled some calories, but not enough substances to figure out how to heal the stomach lining. The human one already have damaged the stomach, the intestines. They have a weaker immune system. The gut there, this together with the stomach, the intestines, they have the normal bacteria of their own. This in their physicality is already damaged. Not enough of it. They're suffering there. Their immune system is failed. They already are weak, too tired, ill. They eat basically what the lunch is and then get some fuel energy, but not enough to rehydrate them when have a fever or they've been suffering in classes. The most classes schools are too cold. Shivering, strain, damage in the nervous system needs a lot of vitamins that help the nervous system. They need sodium, potassium. Pink salt is healthier than white salt in proper amounts. These children then have another 3.5 hours of classes. That's three more mostly in high school, elementary school. These are lengthy hours of classes that they have to or have to learn these things best they can to remember this each subject to write a test so they can pass this test the best they can, highest marks. If they don't get a high enough mark, they are held back or they have to repeat the class, the course. Children forced to learn some heard certain history useless entirely, some Greek mythology, some other ones these days are beyond disrespectful of human life and health of children, what they're forced in certain ways to learn but they cannot be by law. Under God, no one is allowed to force children to learn anything that is not beneficial to their life and their health and fails in the process. This is illegal torture, bodily harm of a child's brain, physical health in many ways against their God-given freedom of choice. In the entire universe, no one is allowed to torture anyone, especially a child. Children are not allowed to suffer anything they don't deserve, like everyone else, according to God. Their brain, body, physical health, life force, soul belongs to God. It is monitored by the heavens continuously how the parents and all educators treat these children. These children are to be respected by the parents that love them into existence. The mother cared for in womb, and when it comes out of the womb, she has to continuously care. To remember to think of this, some informing parents as well what happens to the children from the perspective of I was a child myself, lived through and studied different life sciences for years, nutrition, basic anatomy, all lengthy year university courses, what doctors know, and put this information together in video to inform humans what I thought of to caution them so they think of this to care for their children's health. It is a serious matter to inform the children have rights to know too. They have free will of choice given by God, like everyone else that is monitored within them. What they choose to learn that is proper to their life, to their health, what they're good at. They cannot be forced to learn or left to learn at school but the parents leave them alone, not assessing if it's proper for them to learn, assuming that the teachers are teaching them something proper. The children like me went there and were told to learn history, other things, pick some classes, need these certain ones and a certain average to graduate at the end of it to make it to the next grade. A human has a lot of strain the child to learn things best they can already know, but to then so the certain things they're really not good at and are useless like history that have a whole textbook to be memorized and never use it in life after that, have calories and time wasted on earth that is valuable time that no one has a right to waste of a child, to put them there, the parents to neglect to look at and say they don't need to learn this history textbook to memorize it inside out. They're never going to use this knowledge. It's modern day. It's too outdated, this information. I don't want my child to suffer there, becoming ill on the way with no calories and then learning something they can't when too tired. That is not beneficial, and they're going to have a damaged stomach lining, brain damage, even sitting there, fearing that someone might hear their stomach acids growling starting before classes. They don't want to interrupt the teachers. The children are crying already, have emotional distress. The parents never thought of this. This is what happens to the children. They are starving, they are crying. The kind hearts are crying because they don't want to disturb anyone else when the stomach is starved. They're growling, needs food, but they cannot get up. They have a right to do, but don't because they're not told this. And they wait till the class is over, the hour-long class, approximately one subject. That's 60 minutes that a human child learns something in a particular class that is, and then has to be, they write the notes, the burning calories, this when sitting there, strain the heart, nervous system with no calories, enough glucose to move the muscles for the heart to beat, not enough iron, vitamin C, and then have to learn different courses. And then if the certain ones fail or don't do well enough, they have to repeat that course. This is not respectful of a human that's not good at history and doesn't need to learn it and suffer for a month, a year of taking these almost every day, this course, and memorize a textbook that of information they're never going to use. Children cry and suffer, held back years, and miss going to classes with children they like, have rights, their friends, are put back in different years and different grade levels. There's basic levels, general, advanced, enriched levels of different courses. Children are put into this situation and have not enough calories and crying. They have rights to be informed about this. The parents have to be informed. Everyone has to put this information in this video to the curriculums, to all parents to watch, to share to the children at proper age. The children have rights, serious rights, as every human does. No one can do anything to disrespect their health. They are very young. The rest of their life is affected by how they're treated as a child. They're growing new selves to remember to keep them safe at home where it's warm. If it's gonna be cold, to tell them at early age when they can understand as well for themselves to choose. If it's too cold, obviously stay home where it's warm. It's not worth going to a school far away to freeze and become ill and learn things. Better off even homeschooled to learn one or two things of basic math, English at the proper level, and learn something beneficial too about the basic human nutrition, things like to chew food slowly, they'll be healthier, eat healthy foods, rest, sleep enough. To teach them this, remind them almost every day, are better off. Learn only what they need for other courses, to think ahead of time if they're gonna good at be studying to become a doctor, for a vet to be studied to be a priest, to gear their studies towards this and leave out anything useless to their life. It will save their health, seriously, brain organs from suffering. They need their health to be proper as best they can. There are viruses, as known pandemics in the world. Humans need the best healthy immune system they possibly can have and require sleep. Children growing, a human to remember a child and human all ages as well, requires a huge amount of calories for the brain to learn anything, to use to learn, the heart to beat. When a human is studying, they require a lot of sleep planned ahead of time, a lot of even extra vitamins meal to eat before they learn anything. A human burns more calories learning something a child and human at any age and all the vitamins used for the brain to function more than almost usually doing physical exercise. This is true. This is something to be considered by all the parents, children, to work together with the children to make sure they're healthy first, well rested, have a proper diet, proper oriented to have enough vitamins, minerals that will the brain use when learning. new things. If they have a test, to be make sure they're well rested, plan ahead of time, so they do best they can on that day. No one is expected to remember everything. If it is a course that they have are taking and these can barely remember, they remember what they best can to pass the course, and it's not essential for them to use in their life, but require certain things to be learned. They have to have exceptions left for students. Some help aids during tests. This is beyond not allowed for children to have to suffer, thinking they have to remember, memorize everything. This is beyond wrong. There's not a human alive, even adults can learn all that and remember everything. And then not required to use this information. This is a big disrespect of children. These humans growing new cells could have better off been like myself. When it's warm, sit outside on the swings and be better off healthy, well rested, had a nice breakfast, sit outside in the sun when it's safe to do, in the shade, and go on the swings. Not go in the too cold to warm temperatures early in the morning. Most classes start too early. Children already have not enough sleep. Get up in the morning, right? Even birds come up. The get up is always mostly in Canada, other countries cold. It happened to be in the morning, even in summer, spring. Then it warms up throughout the day. Then cold, and the human is already too tired in the morning. Doesn't that in itself doesn't want to get up. It's too cold. The flesh, the body itself, is already suffering. Most homes, the children are normal temperatures, but in Canada, it's not easy to afford heating. As everyone knows, in the morning it's cold, nighttime. Child dress best they can, and then already shivering, eat the breakfast, and had too tired right to go to sleep. Take a nap, maybe then learn something homeschooling when have enough food, and take another nap. Not required to go to cold kilometers. Most schools are far away from any house. And walk in snowsuit that they can possibly barely put on, sweat before they go outside, for parents to make sure they have normal temperatures. Not put a snowsuit to the point they're really warmed up and sweating, then go out and freeze. Even with a snowsuit. Children walking to school with no masks. Parents walking there not 2 meters away, no masks. The virus, coronavirus, different ones spread even more in the cold. It doesn't die in the cold, not at these temperatures where the humans are. It travels in the wind faster, from one human breeze to another, to animals, pets, humans walking pets with kids to school right beside the dogs, not wearing a mask. The humans don't have any respect for their own health and lives in children and have to do in the dogs. A human has to breathe air, though, is respectful of that, then even to stay 2 meters away. When they're breathing, when they're walking, the children have to breathe air. They can't breathe that much when they have the mask, but have to really walk slowly. To consider this, there's children walking in lines, one after another, not wearing a mask, not teacher telling them to stay 2 meters away or parent. Children got sick, even the common cold, different strains of their own spread to others, different things for years. 100 million children suffered this in these ways to inform humans, the parents, when they go to work, what happens. A child you loved into existence is suffering and learning things that are useless, and the curriculums these days are not intelligent and not in acting in best interest of children anyway. There are some teachers that care, think it was beneficial to teach children, find a proper textbook. Others are not. Curriculum books sold in stores are beyond wordy, have partial sentences, not deemed proper to respect the brain, physical health of a child, not the word learning, are not the word being produced. or purchased by hard-earned money that is made by the parents. The children are suffering to read this. I, as a human graduated from university, have a hard time reading these books. It is not proper for any child to learn these mathematics books, stating these are Ontario other school main curriculum. These are beyond not easy to read at any level. Scientifically are not accurate, mathematically not easy to learn simply. Anatomy books, most are not written appropriately. The children have to be respected by the parents. They have a valuable life to be taught this and everyone to share in the world. Then they really can stay this and have rights to do. They have choice. Say, I choose to stay home and act in the best interest of my own brain and body health. It's too cold. I'm not going outside. I choose to stay home and learn something easier than going too far to walk in the cold, mother. I'm gonna get a cold there, sneezing, a virus, maybe get a worse lung infection. It is way too cold. I'm not going outside. I care for respect my health. Children have rights to hear this and speak these words. The parents then have to act accordingly, according to what the child wishes or their choice. When acting in the best interest, intelligently about their health, own health, and well being. Church is never safe to go to, too cold to warm in itself, to travel to, never go. Simply tell children to pray safely at home and heart soul. It is recorded as it. Don't make the sign of the cross. Tell the children if at an early age they're growing new cells, gonna squish and damage overstretched cells. Don't move your hand past the center of your body. In front, don't put your hands together in a prayer position with the palms, bottom hands together, because it harms your health. If you tell your children this, then they will be healthier for years. And for you to remember to practice as well, set a good example for children. Don't teach them to make the sign of the cross. They haven't never required any human to make the sign of the cross and harm the health in a million ways, especially not children that are growing new cells till almost 20 years old. Their heart will be health saved, calories saved, nervous system less harmed, no overstretched veins, heart, muscle tissue from the spine damaged, and they will be healthier millions times all whole throughout their whole life. If they never make the sign of the cross, tell them not to sit cross-leggedly. Children sitting this way in schools everywhere. I can't even cross my legs. Everyone sat this way. I sat with my knees together up, and the human have right to do. But children, they have the right to be informed, to care for their health. Teachers to respect them as little humans with rights to remember, free will of choice given by God, judged accordingly. How the teachers treat them, the children, what their reactions are. If they're treated with respect and they're happy, if they're not, they're crying, offended. A human child's soul that belongs to God is judged as well, accordingly, monitored by the heavens. No one gets away with anything. Teachers have to treat children with respect, the parents, especially those entrusted to the care of the children, those that left the ones children that are daycare centers, those working there. They have to take care of these children, respect their health and lives, their choices, to act in the best interest of their health, to stay where it's safe and warm, to rest when they need to rest, to take a nap, to be warm, have blankets, soft place to sit in neutral positions. They're not can be forced to sit on the ground, not easy to do, and cross the legs. On hard floors, on gyms they did, hard seats at schools. Damage the below have damaged bruises, little veins this under the skin, under panted buttocks area. They're sitting there, moving. The tailbone is right on the hard surface of the chairs. There are no cushioned chairs in the schools. For parents to think of this even at home, children to have a nice cushion, simple on chairs, safe place to sit on couch, normal level, so they don't have a hard strain. Even in kitchens or places not to have wooden chairs when they're especially skinny. Young children growing new cells so they don't damage the tailbone, has nerves there. The bottom of their panted buttocks area, they have to have proper circulation. They cannot really sit in one position for too long. They're growing new cells. Have to learn something what they need to do, rest properly, have enough nutrients, stand up, walk a little bit for proper circulation, be well rested, take a nap when needed. They are growing new cells too and learning. That's why they need a lot of snacks throughout the day. Bananas have enough glucose and potassium for the heart and brain. Avocados, healthy fat, are easy to chew, they're almost mushy. Whole grain soft breads, a lot healthier than white toast. White toast has almost nothing in it, beneficial and harms in the long run the belly. It has cheese is a proper product for most humans that are not lactose intolerant. Humans to think of this, know this about their children, give them the proper meals. More snacks is when they can throughout the day for fuel. When in school, make sure they don't share the food with anyone to prevent the spread of viruses, germs, coronavirus, variant different strains of it. Make sure they have enough juices with vitamins to recover, fluids, water, small bottles of water. Make proper juices at home. Then make sure that don't become really stale too easily throughout the day, so they don't become ill. Children have basically a sandwich in a backpack. When it's cold, it's preserved longer. But if it's in the sun, dark backpacks, make sure they don't have. Make sure they're light ones that don't harm the vision. White ones, light gray. These children have to be cared for their health, growing new cells. They have a sandwich with most likely a slice of meat, bread, and cheese that even becomes dry. Every food item is already exposed to air when taken out of the package in the morning when made. A sandwich, then kept in fridge, taken to school. By the time if it's in the sun, might become stale. It doesn't even taste good anymore. The children already have waited since early breakfast, became too cold on the way ill, and suffered horrendous 3 long hours. But they don't deserve learning, trying to, and can't. It is too difficult with no calories enough, no sleep, rest in between. Then wait till lunchtime and eat this sandwich. If it's cold was during the day, then it would stay fresh longer. If not, it's disgusting. It is not fresh anymore. It is a health hazard. Cheese is not safe to eat. Meat sliced not in any way, but eaten by most kids. That's all they have. The bread, a little drink juice box to be looked at. They have juice boxes, as most are just basic sugar. They have to be given more like Powerade that have the sodium, potassium, and B vitamins and other things to help them with the immune system, with the nervous system, for the heart to function properly, for the brain to think, to rehydrate them if they had a fever. And then they eat this. It's a meal during lunchtime, another hour. which doesn't even get them to recover anything from the past 3 hours that they shouldn't have been there. They too cold be sleeping. You need a recovery unit in hospital most, or at home and rehydrated. Have another meal. Give an IV with fluids or Gatorade with sodium, potassium, electrolytes, and then have barely eat this lunch if it's not too stale. A sandwich, 1, 2 slices of bread, whole grain with a slice of cheese and meat, and this barely gets them through the lunch and then have to learn for another 3 hours. By the time they even finish the lunch, they already have burned calories, walk to the class, and already have not enough calories to learn. And poor children suffering another hour, long hour, then the next class, another hour. There's a million seconds in every hour that they're suffering there with not enough food nutrients and too tired to learn and ill. Couldn't even make it there through the morning with no a second breakfast. Ill, and then 3 p.m., 3:30 left suffering there and have to go walk home. Finally happy when they go outside for air. The schools most don't have proper windows are beyond inhumane, are disgusting. The newer ones they have are probably and are well more better suited to respect children, but the other ones like I went to and others old ones are disrespectful of the health and lives of children and humans. No one really did anything to focus on this. Teachers made their pay, taught what they need to do and leave. Some taught what the best they can, learned themselves to put together, cared a proper textbook they found, taught children at proper level to help them, polite the rest, teach something they know, and leave. Don't think of what they're first about their physical health well being. To make sure if it's not safe to come to school, tell them that the stores are closed. If it's not worth a child becoming ill, obviously, to travel and to learn something useless, then make sure that they don't teach anything useless. Provide a rest area, seating area with blankets to warm up, rehydrating. There's enough funding too for humans and parents to care. They send children there and safe. Pandemic's gone to give them a bottle of they can carry what's small or order that it's made there in the school to be to given when saved there properly sanitized disinfected to give them each bottle waiting there a meal, Gatorade bottle, nutrients, a sandwich, healthy sandwich, proper breakfast, another one, a place to sit there with blankets, warm up, take a long nap, rest before they learn anything. Then they learn a course, math, English, what they need to, and they have a snack, then learn English. Then by lunchtime, they should be done for already on the way home. The younger children, older ones, there's no way any child can last for 6 hours and a half learning anything, but suffer the trillions humans still children for years. They could have been at home resting, went on the swings every day healthier, happier. But happened that way, this I am speaking from a stated years of experience and put this information together to let humans, the parents know what happens to the children when they go to work. They have online classes now, safer during pandemic times, to only see what they need on laptops. To be careful, laptops have their own signals harmful to humans and children. Growing new cells, brain cells, organ cells have to be respected this way, to be informed, to set a safe distance from laptop, write what they need to write, and then step away from the laptop and rest. Recover the vision. There's vitamins A required for night vision, other ones for the other help the vision of children. Carrots, to eat have certain vitamins help with this. There are things easy the parents can look up on credible sites, even ask doctors what the basic nutrients, vitamins are required for the best ways for means of children to have enough vitamins, minerals before they learn something, before they study for a test. What is best for the memory function of the brain, what is to learn what is made out of, then best to see what is made out of, can use, then have eat the proper foods that contain these vitamins or minerals, amino acids, proteins from fish. They have the omega 3s too to help the brain, heart. Proteins from beef products have to be well cooked, obviously. Chicken. These are little proteins. They break down to the little amino acids, the building blocks of life. They build the new cells together, put together, make the muscles. Different neurotransmitters. They send the signals in the brain to different parts of the body. These all need to be eaten by children as well. Digested to chew slowly in the mouth, food best they can, breaks it down. The safe for the food pipe is small to swallow, and they just broken down to the little vitamins, minerals, then absorbed in intestine to the bloodstream to where the body needs it. To grow new cells, for fuel, sugar, blood sugar, to make sure they have enough energy first, to move the muscles, heart to beat, to breathe air, for the brain to think. These are simple things that are most important, that are to be respected by parents and all. Two, parents have to be educated more about their health. A lot of them did best they can to learn, but a lot of them went to work and can't learn what I even learned in studies past high school, that what they finally teach basic human nutrition, which should be taught early on throughout the years, basic things like I told to the children, because the human health is most important. What they have to eat, which foods have proper vitamins, minerals. There's more research already been done for years. Certain vegetables, fruits are not that beneficial to human health, to be avoided. To find out online, ask a doctor. A human's health is to be monitored, as child has stated early on, so they don't have a damaged stomach lining in any way. Then they have a increased chance of longer life, healthier with a non-damaged, with a stronger rather immune system to help fight off certain bacteria, viruses, common cold. Other viruses they don't have any antibodies against, like coronavirus, will become ill if they get it. They can't fight it off with simple fever. They need a vaccine if it exists. There are no cures. To remember, the children have a valuable health and life according to God. They are the future of the world. If they are to live 100 years, then you have to consider this to care for their health early on. Make sure they're warm and healthy, normal place, safe. They're happy that way, have a personality, emotion, soul, have rights to get along with. Know that with certain humans, not others, that they would like to deal with more. Certain friends has to be respected. The levels of study that they're good at to be respected. They cannot be forced to learn something at a higher level that they're capable of learning. Every child is different to understand this. Parents have to think of teachers. They are trained. They study long years. It's very difficult studies and geared toward respecting a child, health and well-being, and to teach them something. But not all the teachers, when employed, are focusing on their health well-being first. They teach what they need to teach, and in essence, and then they go and then they make their pay and leave. This is not what a teacher's job is. They can be fired when proper. There are laws in place for proper reason under God, valid and on earth. Children have rights a lot and have to be told this at proper age, and parents to respect this, and teachers, educators at all levels, caregivers, for children to remember to state that when they're acting in the best interest of their own health by free of choice, they're not forced by anyone to do. They choose make a proper decision to stay home when it's out of the cold, to stay warm and healthy. No one can disrespect this. The parents have to make sure they, when they choose to stay home to be healthy, then they are kept at home and they're safe with the parents, someone, in a place that's warm that they choose to be, where they're warm and safe and healthy, not gonna get a common cold. A runny nose is a virus, symptom of a virus that has to be killed by a high fever. It is not worth a child ever getting common cold, so best to keep it at home and well rested. Some children have seasonal allergies, pet allergies. Allergies result from certain proteins. When a pet licks itself, it has this little protein in it. It lasts on the fur, spreads to certain children have allergies. The children, some people develop allergies and serious reactions against certain things because their stomach acid lining is damaged. The stomach lining rather is damaged because they're hungry during classes. They don't have enough food yet digested. Then it burns the stomach lining, then the intestines, then there's holes in it called like leaky gut. Whatever they digest in the body goes into the bloodstream and is not allowed to go there because of the little holes with the damaged stomach lining. The children become ill over the years, develop allergies, serious allergic reactions, inflammation reactions, different to even simple certain foods more than others. So it is best to keep children to make sure they're well rested, monitor that they have enough food throughout the day. When they need to sleep, have a proper meal that will digest properly at night. When they get up, go to the washroom appropriate time. Be warm, well rested. If they're gonna learn something, plan ahead to be well rested, warm, enough calories to have vitamins to help the brain to think, to function properly, amino acids from meat products, well cooked, produced. Nuts have a lot of vitamins, helpful amino acids, some healthy fat. If humans, children don't have a nut allergy, is safe then. To be considered, every child is different. For all parents to consider this, to be aware of what is going on in the world. Most humans didn't speak of this. Children like myself lived through this, kind of got through it somehow, learned what need to do, but would have been healthier if we were informed as children to stay home. But the subjects don't need to learn, push the issue, tell the teachers, other children agree. We don't need to learn a history textbook. I'm not gonna strain my heart and hell learning it. I'm never gonna use it. It's for purpose to learn these and then test and pass it to go and then to the next grade. To get a high school degree, I mean the high school passed, to graduate. No human should be can be forced to go there and not to know about most children like myself. If humans learn about this to respect this and had to for years, the teachers to be smart, respect the health, well-being lives of children, bioethics, life respecting laws, health and safety board laws, to make sure that the health and safety of a child is respected and not put in danger. This little child's health. uh, to make sure doors are closed when it's too cold, too warm to travel, inform the parents. Is it pandemic times? To everything is mostly online. Simple courses to be looked up. Search for proper ones the child likes. Find a different teacher if needed. It's online. They can view from their home anywhere safe where it's warm. Educate yourselves too, the parents, what the children learn at early age about nutrition. Then teach the children too what is most important. Then to teach them when they're healthy, can respect when they choose and respect others, use their gifts of the spirit within their heart soul to help others when they're physically healthy, well rested. When they were good at learning and choose to do a job or volunteer, can use this when they're healthy throughout the years and you saved their health early on as a child, kept them at home, safe from the too cold to warm temperatures, saved them from going to school with not enough after eating and then starving left for hours, not knowing or not thinking about it, but they were. You had no right to do. To give them, then you had to, then from now on, food, make sure they have enough meals, keep them at home. They're better off till even a certain age, till these pandemics gone for sure. For them, humans that made the curriculums, what the children study, the courses, what textbooks they have online promoted. Parents to look into this are morally obligated to see if the teacher is teaching them something beneficial to their life. If not, it is not worth their health failing, not allowed for a child to be forced to learn something that is not beneficial, useful to their life. So, this is all information I put together. A child myself was live through these things. I want all children to be healthy and not live through any suffering what they don't deserve. If humans are informed about what happened, they can work together, the parents with the teachers, curriculums, make a better one, considering the health and safety of the child that has rights. To tell the children, as stated the words, I have free will of choice. I'm acting in the best interest of my health and life. I choose to stay home where it's warm, not go into cold to warm temperatures, get ill. They have rights. They have a right to be informed. Teachers to tell them this, parents to respect this, teach them this. Tell the priest ministers to put these in the sermons to remind humans everyone will be healthy, respected that way as they right to be. Everyone is different. They have their choices. They have a right to have their health respected by all. They cannot heal anything, especially children. The longer the health is staying warm, learn only what they need, are healthy, well rested, with enough food and calories. The longer they last on this earth with healthier immune systems, then can use their talents to what they learn to help someone else do their jobs, live that much longer, healthier. And then when they're older, to keep in mind they don't have enough means of the body absorbing as many nutrients. They have to absorb this as a child throughout their life. The body stores certain vitamins, minerals, others it doesn't. It requires from food. If they don't get enough of certain vitamins and minerals, they can get a supplement that is not harmful to their health. So it's always best to be informed, to find ways to think of this to prevent a human health from failing, especially as child. Then when they're healthy, they're happy, and then they can play, help others. They have nice pets, love them, see they're healthy and happy. Everyone's happy, the parents, caregivers. They prevent the spread, help, excuse me. Then the sooner the virus main ones will die out, will not be in the world. They can go outside more when it's safe and warm. Don't have to wear the mask unless need. They have still choice, even have a cold, to respect and prevent this from spreading to others. Any germs. So please remember, every human, be a human earth angel. Respect your own health and lives. Be well rested And you are a temple, physical and children, for your kind-hearted, pure soul to use your gifts of kindness and compassion, patience, to be intelligent, the virtues of love, be understanding of the needs of others, to do kind, merciful acts, charitable acts when you're physically healthy and well rested, to help others, to prevent their health from failing, highly valued by the heavens but not expecting anything in reward, by free will of choice, selflessly to help others to prevent their health from failing, to tell them this information, to help them, the children, the parents. Everyone will be healthier, happier, respected as their right to be their physical health that they cannot heal. Then they will be healthier, happier, and they will have their live through their heaven on earth as they rightly deserve, while they only have one life to live.